Once there was a young girl named Anaya. She lived in a small town with her parents and younger brother. Anaya was an ordinary girl with big dreams. She loved reading stories of heroes, brave warriors, and great leaders. Every time she read those stories, she imagined that one day someone would come and rescue her from her struggles and make her life beautiful. But life was not easy for Anaya. Her family was poor. Her father worked as a daily wage laborer, and her mother stitched clothes to support the family. Sometimes they did not even have enough money for proper meals. Anaya often felt helpless. She thought, if only someone could save me from this life, I would be happy. At school, things were not better. Many of her classmates made fun of her old clothes and simple lunch. She often sat quietly in the corner, wishing she could disappear. She longed for a friend, a guide, or a hero who would make everything better. One day, her teacher, Mrs. Malhotra, noticed her sadness. After class, she called Anaya and said, "Why do you look so unhappy, child?" Anaya replied softly, "I am waiting for someone who will change my life. Maybe a hero." Mrs. Malhotra smiled and said something that Anaya never forgot. She said, "My dear, sometimes the hero you are waiting for is you. You don't need someone else to save you. You can save yourself." Those words echoed in Anaya's mind again and again. At first, she didn't understand. How could she, a poor little girl, be her own hero? But slowly, she began to realize the truth. Heroes are not always people with swords, powers, or fame. A hero is someone who fights difficulties with courage, even when the world thinks they cannot. That night, Anaya looked in the mirror and whispered to herself, "Maybe I can be my own hero." From the next day, she started making small changes. Instead of feeling sad about her situation, she focused on what she could do. She studied harder, even though she had no proper books. She borrowed from the library and copied notes from her classmates. When others mocked her, she chose not to cry but to prove them wrong with her results. At home, she helped her mother with stitching, and soon, she learned the skill herself. In the evenings, she stitched handkerchiefs and little cloth bags and sold them in the market. She saved every rupee carefully. Months passed, and Anaya became stronger, not just in studies but also in confidence. She stopped waiting for someone to rescue her. She realized that every step she took was shaping her into a hero. When the annual exams came, Anaya topped her class. Everyone was surprised, even the classmates who once laughed at her. Her teacher proudly said, "See, this is what happens when you believe in yourself." Her journey was not easy. There were days when she felt tired and wanted to give up. But each time, she reminded herself, "Heroes don't quit, and I am my own hero." As the years passed, Anaya's hard work opened doors. She earned a scholarship for higher studies. With her saved money and the support of her family, she continued her education. She later became a teacher, inspiring hundreds of students with her story. People often asked her, "Who was your hero?" She always smiled and replied, "I was my own hero." The girl who once waited for someone to save her had saved herself with courage, hard work, and faith. She proved that real heroes are not found in books or movies. Sometimes, they live within us, waiting to be discovered. Her life became an example for many. Children in her town learned that they didn't have to wait for miracles. They could create their own path, just like Anaya did. And so, the little girl from a small town, who once felt powerless, became a shining light of strength. She became her own hero, and that was the greatest victory of all.